council and may be approved by one motion. However, a member of the council may request that an item be removed for separate consideration under the appropriate committee report. Ordinance 111, 2024-25, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Running M Properties, LLC, for a zone change on property located south of West Concord Drive, east of Fort Campbell Boulevard, and access approximately 260 feet south of the Fort Campbell Boulevard and Concord Drive intersection from C2 General Commercial District to R2A Single Family Residential District. Ordinance 6, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Donnie Ray Plaster Jr. for a zone change on a tract of land encompassing 2 adjacent parcels at the eastern terminus of Bellamy Lane from AG Agricultural District to R4 Multiple Family Residential District. Ordinance 7, 2025-26, an ordinance accepting the donation of certain real property from John T. Rockford to the city of Clarksville for the purpose of a park. Ordinance 9, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Clarkland, for a zone change on property located on the northwest corner of Ashland City Road and 41A Bypass and Denny Road intersection from R1 Single Family Residential District to C5 Highway and Arterial Commercial District. Ordinance 10, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Ross and Ashley Morford and Armor Holdings, LLC, for a zone change on 2 adjacent parcels on the northern frontage of Marion Street, 115 plus or minus feet west of the 2nd Street and Marion Street intersection, from R4 Multiple Family Residential District to CBD Central Business District. Ordinance 11, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Todd Morris for a zone change on property consisting of 4 contiguous parcels on the eastern frontage of Trenton Road, 450 feet plus or minus north of Fairview Lane, from R1 Single Family Residential District to R4 Multiple Family Residential District and C5 Highway and Arterial Commercial District. Ordinance 12, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Ronnie Gano for a zone change on property located on a parcel of land fronting on the west frontage of Evans Road, 900 plus or minus feet north of the Lafayette Road intersection from RM1 Single Family Mobile Home Residential District to R2D 2 Family Residential District. Ordinance 14, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Virginia James and Jason Feltner family for a zone change on property located on the eastern and western frontages of Ted A. Crozier Sr. Boulevard, north and south of the western intersection of Dunlop Lane and Ted Crozier Sr. Boulevard, and 800 plus or minus feet north of the eastern intersection of Dunlop Lane and Ted Crozier Sr. Boulevard, spanning 3,600 plus or minus feet of Ted Crozier Sr. Boulevard frontage, bounded by I-24 on the northeast and a railroad track to the south from R1 Single Family Residential District and M3 Light Industrial District to C3 Regional Shopping Center District and C4 Highway Interchange District. Ordinance 15, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of SDRA Holdings, LLC, for a zone change on property located on 2 parcels of the northwest corner of the Thomas Street and Bradley Street intersection from R3 3 Family Residential District to C2 General Commercial District. Ordinance 18, 2025-26, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or his designee to conduct negotiations and to enter into an agreement for the purchase of real property for the purpose of constructing affordable housing in partnership with Appalachian Service Project. Ordinance 19, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the city zoning ordinance of the city of Clarksville as it pertains to updating the Clarksville Design Overlay Districts to include Fort Campbell Boulevard and Tiny Town Road corridors. Resolution 19, 2025-26, A resolution approving appointments to the Human Relations Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals. Resolution 21, 2025-26, a resolution approving a certificate of compliance for sale of liquor at Crossland Wine and Spirits, located 831 Crossland Avenue. Resolution 22, 2025-26, a resolution approving a retail liquor store certificate of compliance for Champa Patel for Liquor Barrel at 4 Leland Drive, Clarksville, Tennessee, and repealing the certificate of compliance for the Liquor Barrel at 2030 Wilma Rudolph Boulevard, and the adoption of minutes from September 4th.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Any comment or question regarding the consent agenda? Now ready for a Finance Committee report. Chairman Streetman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I never get to say this. I'll have a report next week.
All right. Gas and Water Committee, Chairman McLaughlin, you're recognized.
I'll have a report next week.
All right, thank you. Neighborhood and Community Services Committee, Chairman Shekinah, you're recognized.
I'll have a report next week.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation Committee, Chairman Zacharias.
Thank you, Mayor. I will have a report next week, but I do want to bring to the public's attention a couple of events that we have going on before we next meet. The Downtown Market, the Children's Entrepreneur Market, will be this Saturday from 8 to 12. Magic in the Park is at Liberty Park, also on Saturday from 2 to 8. Also on Saturday, we have Pink Empowerment at the Cleveland Recreation Center. Pink Empowerment is a gathering of survivors, caregivers, family members, and supporters who come together to share stories, strength, and encouragement in the fight against cancer. And hold on, one more, and it's gone. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Public Safety Committee, Chairman Lovato, you're recognized.
I'll have a full report next week.
Thank you. Transportation, Streets, and Garage Committee Chair will have a report next week. Now ready for new business. Resolution 2025-26, a resolution authorizing reapplication for a zone change for a property located at the intersection of Dunbar Cave Road and Rossview Road. Councilman Streetman, you're the sponsor. You're recognized.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. This is actually the first time, I believe, that I've ever brought one of these forward. I don't typically do this, but in this particular case, this was the one that was located on Rossview Road, where they were looking to put C2 there. And many council members around the horn here had concerns with them having the ability to put apartments there. Their plan was to do a daycare as well as some other commercial opportunities in the front. They needed the C2 zoning to be able to do that. What they are interested in doing now is, instead of bringing it back, reapplying for rezoning as C2, they are going to, should we approve this, they are going to reapply with a PUD, which will be lay out specifically how it's going to be built. It would enable them to not have apartments unless they put that in the PUD, and that PUD would then come back before us for approval. I do believe the applicant will be emailing everyone and stating this as well, so it's not just me telling you that's what their intention is, but for them to state that is what their intention is.
Any comment or question regarding this resolution? Councilman Chandler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. My question is, don't you have to be on the prevailing side of that vote that it was denied?
Yes, you do.
And did you vote yes or no?
Councilman Streetman.
I voted yes, but I'm not aware of it having to be on the prevailing side when I'm bringing it back as a
you're right.
resolution, asking for them to have the ability to reapply for zone change.
Yeah, we're not reconsidering our action. This is a separate resolution. My mistake.
If this is approved, it allows them to reapply. It does not automatically bring back the C2.
I'm still confused at the fact that we're asking to bypass the normal year that is set by statute. And I'd like to refer to the legal counsel if they can even bring it back.
Mr. Bittner? Councilman Chandler, if you will, ask your questions while buy him a little time to look it up.
My question is, can it, first of all, correct me if I'm wrong, but to bring back something that this body has turned down, the person bringing it back has to have been on the prevailing side. And the second part of that would be, if that's not true, then if we voted it down, how can it be changed to go ahead and bring it back without waiting the Wallace Red rule?
Okay, so the zoning code has their own version of the Wallace Red Code. It's in it's in the zoning code, it's 11.11. It's called amendments affecting the same parcel of land. And what it says is, if there's an amendment affecting the same parcel of land, you can bring it back. If you have a resolution approved by a 3/4 majority of the members present of the city council. A little bit different than the red rule, but it does allow it to be done with 3/4 majority vote of the members present.
But the person making the motion doesn't. In the past, the person making the motion had to be on the prevailing side to bring it back up.
For a motion to reconsider under the Roberts Rule, that's a correct statement, 100%, but in the zoning code, it doesn't require that to be done.
Okay, but we follow Robert's Rules of Order, correct?
We do follow Roberts Rules, but I think this preempts the Roberts Rules on that because it's specifically set out in the code.
All right, thank you.
Councilman McLaughlin, you're recognized.
While you're there, so the motion to reconsider, the way that I've always understood it, has to be within the same meeting without us adjourning, versus it being down the road. Is that correct? So if we voted it down today in a meeting and later down the agenda, somebody asked for a motion to reconsider, that's when the prevailing side rule comes into effect, not after we've adjourned and moved on.
Right, the motion to reconsider under the Roberts Rules is what you're speaking of.
We have to be in the same meeting.
Right,
Okay.
same meeting. But again, this is something different. This is
Right,
under,
I think that's where some of the confusion was, and that's why I was just trying to make sure that.
sure,
Okay,
to
thank you.
clarify. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
Councilman Streetman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. The reason this is being requested, this is substantially different than what was before us originally when they asked for a C2. Again, this is a PUD where they're going to have plans and everything drawn out showing us exactly what it is they plan on doing, and they won't be able to deviate from it with the exception of a small percentage, I believe it's 10% or less. Again, this was just something because of the fact everyone's concern with voting for it wasn't the fact of a daycare being there, but was because of the fact that there was potential for apartments. This would eliminate the potential for apartments as long as they don't put it in their PUD, and it is very much my understanding that it was never their intent, and that's why they want to do it as a PUD instead of it being as a C2.
Other comment or question regarding this resolution? All right, we're now ready for Resolution 23, 2024-25, resolution adopting the City of Clarksville's legislative agenda for consideration by the 114th Tennessee General Assembly. Chairman Streetman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to first off thank everyone who served on the Legislative Agenda Committee for all the work that they did. We met several times over the last several weeks to be able to work on this, and not only did we take time working within these meetings, but meeting with department heads and anyone that would be involved in the process in order to be able to develop this legislative agenda that we have before you. As you see, we've got 5 items, which also includes our road projects that we are requesting from the state of Tennessee. We kept this one very short and succinct because our legislators only get 10 bills to be able to bring forward. We wanted to keep this very much focused on things that we need for our community, and I would absolutely ask for your support in taking this unanimously forward to our legislators so that when we present, they'll be able to see that we have a strong front and how much this legislative agenda means to us and to the city of Clarksville.
Questions about Resolution 23? Councilman Marquis, you're recognized.
Yes, I just had a quick question because I saw it on the Interstate 24. It says added capacity / widening, but then on the other street projects, we didn't, I guess, ask what we wanted. Is there a reason, or maybe we should add it? I don't know. Whoever can answer.
Councilman Streetman.
Thank you. Some of that is in reference to working with the street department's been involved in this. We've also worked with I cannot remember his name and title right now. I do apologize. I feel so rude for not.
Mike
Mike.
Jarnick.
Thank you
Okay.
very much. I'm sorry, and I didn't have it in front of me. But some of this is based on what's already on the TDOT's plan, and we just want to make sure that we're staying in the forefront with them on the projects that we need, as well as some other projects that currently aren't on the 10-year plan and previously were on the 10-year plan, and we want and need those added back.
I understand. I guess what I'm asking is why we didn't ask like the State Route 374. I don't know if that's on their plan or not, but what we want done with it. Like if it needs to be widened, why not just add widening or something like that?
Believe we have it in our letter. It's to,
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's the State Route 374 from Dunbar Cave Road to Madison Street that is widening that portion.
I just picked the random
We,
one.
that's fine, and we can easily clean that up without it being a necessity for an amendment to
Yeah.
make sure that it's specific. We will also,
Yeah.
while meeting with the legislators, talk about these in detail. We'll have Mr. Smith there with us to make sure we have everything covered, but we've just got several different ones there that we are trying to get completed.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure that what we send up is exactly what we want, that they know that we need this done on this road, and yeah.
No, I appreciate that, and I'll be sure, and I'll look it over and work with the clerk so that we can get, have it written exactly like it needs to be. That, like I said, that won't require any type of change other than just cleaning up the language.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much
Yeah.
for that.
Good question. Councilman Brown, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to point out one item on here, item D for the State Route 374 from Dover Road to 149. I know some people may look at it as that's not inside the city limits, but with that road being completed, that would alleviate a lot of traffic on Providence Boulevard. You know, that would help the traffic inside the city tremendously. So just in case somebody looked at it and says, why are we pushing for something outside the city? Because it's going to affect our traffic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other comment or question regarding this resolution? All right. We're now ready for public comment. Any member of the public wish to address the council? We're now ready for mayor and council member comments. Councilman Streetman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. Coming up on November 13th, the Regional Planning Commission will be having a workshop for some upcoming legislation that will be coming before the council. It's involving the LED sign ordinance that has come before the Regional Planning Commission a couple of times. It was recently deferred again in the discussion that both myself and the fellow commissioner, which is the county commissioner, Joe Smith, that serves with me on the Regional Planning Commission. Both of us thought it was important that we have a workshop, not just for the Regional Planning Commission members, but I also requested that all of the council members be invited to it, and that's why it's scheduled for 4:30 in the afternoon, knowing that any changes that are made at this level, it'll send it back and have to be voted on again. And I think there's going to be changes made before it's voted on at the Regional Planning Commission level. And so I would really encourage you to attend that meeting so that any input that you might have on it or things that you would like to see changed before it comes to the city council, rather than amend it here, we'd like to try and get it right on the front end.
Councilman McLaughlin, you're recognized.
I apologize. What was the date?
It is November 13th at 4:30 PM in the downstairs of the Regional Planning Commission at 329 Main Street. It's also going to be open to the public, and I will tell you all that Mr. Tyndall will be sending out an invite to everyone as well.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Chandler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm gonna give a quick update on my health. I started my radiation treatments last week. I've had 9 so far. I still got 30 more to go. I met with the oncologist and the surgeon today. They seem to think that everything's gonna be all right. Even though it zaps my energy, they promised me that that would eventually come back in a few months. So, thank you.
Thank you. We'll certainly be praying for you. Councilman McLaughlin.
I just wanted take the opportunity to thank everybody who was involved in the most recent Women's Expo. I know a lot of work was put in by a lot of different city employees and entities, and I enjoyed the fact that the mayor was there and made comments, and the first lady, and I think it was a good mix of vendors and nonprofits, and the transportation was perfect this year. So thanks to CTS for that. But it was a great event, and if you didn't have a chance to attend, I hope you are able to go next year. I think this was the best year out of the ones I've attended in the past, so thank you all.
Thank you for that. Any other comment or question? The clock must have stopped because it's just 4:52. I will read into the record next week the report on debt obligations for CDE. Without any objection, we're adjourned. See you next week.